All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Cover. Rich Walsh alongside Paul Zeise. And, Paul, you called up that stat.
Yeah, Craig Meyer, right? 26 years out of the last 30, Pitt has had 5 losses. Wake Forest has 26, Duke has 27. Those are the only 2 teams that are that bad. But look at these teams. NC State, Georgia Tech, North Carolina, Virginia, BC all have 20. But, I mean, you know, if you think about it, as bad as Miami's been, they've only had 11. Think about it. They've won the Coastal once. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone's won.
I mean,
right?
It's just been, you know.
Yeah.
Syracuse has only had 19 of those seasons. And they had some really bad eras.
And if you would ask me, like, who's been the worst program over the years, I would have said Syracuse.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but the numbers don't lie.
It's not good. They don't lie.
All right, let's go out to we're going to go out to George out in Newcastle. What's up, George?
Hey, good evening, gentlemen.
Thanks for calling.
I think basically you have to look at the coaching staff. For the last 2 years, they can't finish the deal. They seem to go down in flames towards the end. They can't keep these young fellas focused. I don't know whether it's the quality of player they're getting or what, or whether, you know, it's just the coaching staff. Let's face it, the last 2 games, I call them Ipecac games. You want to throw up. You know, it's just terrible.
You know, George, it's just the same story. I don't know why Pitt can't get over the hump. I just don't understand that, Paul. I don't get it. What are they doing wrong? I mean, why can't they get a season in there when they're 10-2 or 9-3? I mean, you know, I hate to say it. I think one of the worst moves in this program was when Peterson had enough of Wannstedt and fired him. I mean, I don't think that they would be in this situation right now.
Someone from Nebraska tweeted this out today. The number of losing seasons that Bob Devaney, Tom Osborne, and Frank Solich had over literally like a 40-some year period, 0. Since Steve Peterson fired Frank Solich, they've had like 7 or 6 losing seasons. So
that I think
yet another program ruined by Steve Peterson and his decision.
You know, I think Scott Barnes was the worst athletic director in my time around here. Maybe Oval Jane's going back, but Steve Peterson made probably the worst move in concerning the football program by firing Wannstedt at that time.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not happy with 9 wins a year. I think you should be happy with that.
But I think the other part of it was Dave Wannstedt was recruiting at a high level.
Yes.
Guys were going to the NFL. Guys were graduating. There was no reason to make a change.
All right, let's go out to Waylon out in Washington. What's up, Waylon?
Hey, guys. How you guys doing tonight?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Hey, check it out. Just what you guys are talking about. The coaches, the team, the Pitt situation. You know, I graduated from Pitt. The thing is, there's no no real fire. There's no Donald Trump. There's no guy to rock and roll this program. Any thoughts?
I don't know what, Waylon, thanks for your call, but I don't know what kind of guy you want out there. I don't know.
What does that mean?
Isn't Narduzzi a rah-rah type guy?
Listen, the problem with this team is not lack of effort, lack of motivation, lack of all that stuff. These guys, trust me, someone whose son played for Pat Narduzzi, they play hard for him. They believe, the tough guy stuff. They want to be a tough football program. They do all of those things. That's not the problem. The problem is the execution. The problem is doing things the right way. All the stuff that you have to do to win football games. Even sometimes the game planning. I think sometimes the decision making from the sidelines. There's a lot of little things that are a problem. Pat Narduzzi, and this is why I think, I believe he's the right guy to stay here and do the job, right? But I think he needs help maybe from different coordinators. I don't know what it is. I like his defensive coordinator. I think they've actually been pretty good. Today they just got worn down.
Yeah,
but they've got to figure out what they're doing on offense.
I like Whipple. I thought he'd open it up a little bit more.
Well, that's fine, but they've got to figure out and have an identity. They've got to be able to run the ball some. They've got to be able to and the other part of it is all of this stuff where they've got penalties, they've got mistakes, they've got to use timeouts when they're not supposed to. All of that stuff, that has to get cleaned up because that's the difference between winning and losing.
All right, it starts with the head coach, but a lot of this blame should fall into Kenny Pickett, I think, too. I don't know if he's the right quarterback for the job, and the fact that Narduzzi is so stubborn with it, I mean, the guy should have been pulled from the ACC championship game. I mean, it's embarrassing that he threw for 8 yards.
Right.
Like, at least put anyone out there.
Right.
You know?
But again, in that ACC championship game, I could point very clear times in the game where the play calling and the game planning were the problem.
And that's why that guy's not here anymore.
You know, you're down 7-0, right? You're backed up on about your 10, 11, 12-yard line. It's 3rd and forever. You got a quarterback who makes mistakes, and instead of just handing it off to Olsen or Hall and punting, you have them drop back. It's a strip sack. They grab it and take it to about the 1-yard line. One play later, now it's 14-0. Then with 50 seconds left in the half,
still in it, you throw an interception.
You're down 21-10. You haven't done anything through the air at all. Handed off twice. Dabo Swinney was running down the sidelines. He was getting ready to he wasn't going to use his timeouts to stop the clock. And you throw an out pattern for his pick 6. Now it's 28-10, game's over. So it's a combination of a lot of things.
You know, I don't believe you shouldn't change coaches now. They're finally getting some kind of stability.
Yeah,
just ride them out, see what's going on.
What I'm saying is that they've got to get better in these little areas.
You know, Ron just tweeted us, Spartan Ron. He said, I believe Todd Graham is still available. You know what? It's funny because I actually liked the hiring of Todd Graham at first until like the first few games and then realized that he was a fraud, too.
I'm going to say this. I actually like Todd Graham. I thought he was a good dude. You know, all of the, Southern Baptist preacher stuff and that shtick. It's, and the power. High octane, all that crap. That was
Left
wonderful.
lane.
But the bottom line was that was just him being a salesman. That was him. I got a chance to really kind of sit down and talk with him a number of times. I got to know him a little bit. I actually liked him as a dude. He just, he didn't want to be here. And you know why he didn't want to be here? Steve Peterson. You know, the one thing, we have to go to break, but the one thing I really liked about Todd Graham, I thought it brought some excitement to the offense. I think they need some excitement. Programs like Pitt need an offense that can score a lot of points. That's how you bring people in. That's how a program like this wins games. Programs like Pitt, they don't win games by playing defense and a pro-style offense. But they can if they have. I mean,
if you can recruit those kind of guys.
Last year, if Kenny Pickett was a better passer last year with that running game, they could have played a pro-style offense and really been good.
All right, we're going to take a break. Back in a couple minutes.